Hello. Um, it seems some time since I've done one of these videos. I've been away on holiday. Um, and Debussy's piece for solo flute, Syrinx, has been much on my mind. Syrinx was written as incidental music for a play by Gabriel Maury. Um, and uh, the drama Debussy wrote it for was called Psyche. And Syrinx is in fact a nymph that the god Pan pursued. When he caught her, she turned into a set of panpipes, a set of reeds, which he played. And this is what the piece represents. Um, it's written in 1913, dedicated to Louis Fleury, the French flautist, who also played it at the premiere and then took it on board for repertoire, and it's remained in the flute repertoire ever since. This piece is a tour de force in compositional techniques, which I'll talk a bit about at the end, and it takes a bit of learning, but I thought I'd throw it out at you and see what you make of it. It's well worth learning. I started playing this when I was 13, and I've been playing it ever since, and it's always a delight to come back to. So here we go. It's very short. It's only 2 pages long. That's it. I have it in this edition by Simon Hunt, and this is a great book. I don't think this is any longer available. It's got C.P. Bach, A minor sonata, J.S. Bach Partitur in A minor, Telemann Solo Sonata, Starmitz Solo Sonata. So it's a really good book to get. If you can get hold of a copy, that's really good. Masterworks for Solo Flute, edited by Simon Hunt. And it comes with practice notes as well, which is really good. I've had it for years. Syrinx is formed around this introduction. Which is really a dotted quaver followed by two demi-semiquavers, which are then transposed downwards in a sequence and with a downward scale. And then the same thing, but different note order. So you have B flat to A to B natural, which is like a semitone down and then a tone up. And then he does that again. And then a scale downwards. Interestingly, the first note of each of those note groups are B flat, just a simple line which he embellishes with these. And that's what it is really. And then the last group is B flat, C, C flat, and back to B flat, as I just mentioned. So that is similar to that, but reordered. That last little group is B flat, up to C, and then down a semitone. So instead of like the first group, which is semitone, up a tone, this is a tone and then down a semitone. So it's both a reordering and an inversion. So this version, the last version goes up and the first version is down. It's this little motif, this 3-note attack, which is used throughout in different guises. If you listen to the next line, it's very similar. It's a direct repeat. But then Debussy starts developing it. And instead of having a dotted quaver and demi-semiquavers, he transforms that rhythmically into a quaver tied to a semiquaver and then a semiquaver triplet, if you see. So it's still 3 notes, but he does it slightly differently. He stretches it. And then he elaborates it further by taking the pattern upwards. It's still 3 notes each, but it's been slightly changed. And then he comes back to it. And then, at the end of the first section, we have which is a bit like an E major 6 chord, except this isn't. It's actually F flat. An F flat arpeggio with a 6 in it. The key is set as B flat minor. It actually ends on D flat. So the whole thing is like a descent from B flat minor to D flat major. Of course, both keys are related because each have 5 flats. And it doesn't sound at all tonal. A lot of it is not tonal. It's modal, but Debussy uses different forms of scales to give this exotic effect. Technically, you've got to be very careful of that first section. On the surface, it looks like chromaticism. You have to do a lot of note bashing with this. In other words, you've got to really get to grips with the notes before you can play it as one. So be careful of the accidentals. First of all, be careful of the key signature, because 5 flats, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, and G flat. You've also got, then Debussy throws into the works A natural, B natural, G natural, A natural, E natural, and then F sharp, B natural, many accidentals. C flat is included, so you'll have to look at that very carefully. Second section is marked un peu mouvement, which means a little more movement. So which is the same as the beginning but an octave lower. And then right at the end of that line you have a G flat major pentatonic. Which is then speeded up. So he starts moving into different keys. So he's gone a third higher, a major third higher towards, beg your pardon, a minor third higher to G flat major. So you've got to be very careful of the different tonalities and modalities which appear throughout. Then what he does is have a section of descending decorated tritones, so A to E flat and back to A. I'll play that again. So the second section to there sounds like and then we end up on E flat. And then is a touch of Debussy's technique of rhythmic transformation. Those 3 notes at the beginning, the dotted quaver followed by 2 demisemiquavers, have now become a triplet with a little decoration in it, with a little grace note, which sound like so you have a chain of them, and then so you're now D flat. And a section of G flat major pentatonic, followed by, and here you have semiquavers, triplets. So again, it's the 3 notes, but now appearing not as quaver triplets, but as semiquaver triplets. It's an absolute minefield of rhythmic transformation. So let me play that. which is capped off by that little move at the end. Then back to B flat. So you be careful of that, because those are like trills the other way around. Just here. You can see that they're actually little trills the other way around. The first one is E flat to D flat, which you start with a real E flat fingering and then use this finger, and then G flat to F backwards. So then we get the tune again. This time though we have the climax. And then it falls and we get a group of which is our old friend, is actually our old friend from the beginning. Here it is. So whereas it was whereas it was dotted quaver followed by 2 semiquavers at the beginning, now it's become semiquaver triplets, and he repeats that. And then we get the final line, which is again the rhythmic transformation. Now the original dotted quaver, 2 semiquavers, has now become again the quaver triplet, and that sounds like and then to cap it all at the end, which is a whole tone scale. The whole tone scale is D flat. Just be careful of that, because Debussy is very careful. He puts in a little accent here. So you don't tongue the accent, you just force it with your diaphragm, just very slightly. I think that's an absolutely remarkable piece. I'm sorry to become tongue-tied with it. There's a lot to say about it, and the more I look at it, the more I realise that it's absolutely full of detail. It's really worth learning, and I hope you enjoy that. It's worth learning. You know, I would get a copy of it and see what you make of it. Anyway, thank you for listening. Okay, bye now.